Hey guys, what's up? We're going to try this new thing. We had a really good idea. Every 2 weeks, we're going to send out a quick little video like this one that's going to answer some questions that we either hear about in the gym or that you ask us specifically or that you email us or whatever it is. Because we obviously answer your questions as you ask them, but there's a lot of questions that we get repeatedly, and if you have the question, chances are other people in the gym have the question, so this will be a nice way to kind of tie everything together. Hopefully you like it. So, we're going to start with a question today that I get a lot, and that comes up a lot through looking at the programming and all that. So, it's going to be about strength, which is the perfect timing because our strength camp is going to start in about, I believe, 2.5 or 2 weeks now, or 3 weeks, and it's coming up real fast. This is going to be the only strength camp that we do in the next year. So we're not going to do this thing again for 12 months. It's going to be an 8-week cycle. It's cheaper than it ever has been. If you want to get strong, this is by far the best way to do it. So if you want to get in that, let me know ASAP. I think we only have 2 spots left or so, so do not delay in that. Now, let's go to the question. So first thing I want to talk about is strength. And I want to answer the question, what is strength? And 2, why the hell we always do press, squat, and deadlift for strength? That I seem to get a lot. So, number 1, what is strength? First, let's talk about what it's not. It's not the size of your muscle. And that can be proven pretty easily. You can get a big bodybuilder in here that's huge, that's big as a house, and we can see how much he can clean or squat, and I'll probably clean or squat more than he does. And it's not. So that obviously disproves that it's muscle, right? It's not the size of your muscle that matters. It's something else is going on there. There's smaller guys who lift heavier than heavier big guys all the time. So obviously, it's not the size of your muscle that really matters. And if that's not it, then what the hell is strength? How do you get strong? In the last strength camp, I went over this a lot. But it's this concept of the central nervous system. And the central nervous system is pretty much the workings, the network of how your brain tells your muscles to move. It's a very simplified version of it, but without getting too complex into it, your central nervous system's ability to recruit muscle groups is what makes you stronger. And to illustrate that point, if you tried back squatting 50% of your max on ice, it would be really fucking hard. If you did it and didn't break your neck or break a leg, it would be really, really hard. But then if you come in here and you did it on wood, it would be easier. So then the question is, how is it, or what's missing? What's so different about, on one side we have ice, and then we have wood. On ice, it's super hard, and on wood, it's not that hard. Yet, they're both flat surfaces. You're wearing the same things, the same bars, the same rack. What's so different about squatting on ice? Why is that so hard? And the answer lies in, again, what strength is. And that's the central nervous system's ability to recruit muscle groups. So on ice, all your muscle groups aren't being recruited to lift the weight. There's probably a good portion of your muscle groups that are being recruited just to stabilize on ice. Right? So just by walking on ice, you're recruiting a lot of muscle groups just to make sure you don't fall over or go into a split or something crazy like that. Never mind if you throw weight on your back and try to squat. So your body, when you put that bar on your back and you try squatting on ice, your body is trying to stabilize, it's trying to keep your feet in the same spot, try not to split out, try not to go here or there. Your hip, your core, everything's working so hard just to stay in line. Never mind lift that weight. So what's happening is your nervous system can't get all these muscle groups to go against the bar. Instead, half of it has to go towards the ice and stabilizing and this and that. Where if you come in here and do the same load, it's easy. Right? 50% of your max in here, that's not that hard. You can do that pretty easily. But again, on ice it would be really difficult. And the difference is that in here, on stable ground, your body doesn't have to worry about using muscle groups to stabilize. All it has to do is use all of its muscle groups to recruit and to use the back squat, to go against the back squat. That's just kind of a quick example of illustrating that point, but it works with anything. With the press, this is why when you guys did the presses, strict presses for the CrossFit Total, I made sure you guys make your legs really tight, your core really tight. You grip the ground with your toes, you grab the bar as hard as you can. All these muscle groups are being recruited, and it'll make it easier to lift. It's going to make you stronger. And this goes directly into the second question of why do we always do press, squat, and deadlift. That's because those lifts are the most compound lifts. They're the most multi-joint lifts that use the most muscle groups at once, which is why they're so effective at getting you stronger. So if you think the squat basically works a little bit of everything, majority it uses your quads. The deadlift uses, most of it is the posterior chain, basically everything behind you, but again, a little bit of everything is used. The press, same thing. All upper body is obvious, but it's also using everything down there too to help you stabilize and move that weight. So the more muscle groups you can recruit, and the better your central nervous system gets at recruiting muscle groups, the stronger you'll be. Which is why you can have somebody who's not that big lift heavier than somebody who's huge. So that kind of answers that question. Hopefully that makes a little bit of sense. If you remember, strength, it's not the size of your muscle that counts. It's your central nervous system's ability to recruit muscle groups, which is why we do the squat, press, and deadlift, because they're really good at training our bodies to use all the muscle groups possible and make them stronger. So, boom, there you have it. Just in time for that strength camp. Again, if you're interested in that, make sure you get on it. It's going to close pretty soon. I'm capping it pretty low this time, so make sure you get on that. And if not, see you guys in class to lift some weights.